right, friends, so this project is another indoor chalk art project you can do, and all you need is a piece of white paper and of course your sidewalk chalk, bring it into your house, and you're gonna need a cup of water and a paintbrush. Okay, and again, because chalk is messy, I highly suggest covering your surface with newspaper or a brown paper bag. Cover your piece of plastic. Even a plastic bag will work because we know chalk will get messy. So again, because chalk art is really thick and wide to work with, it's hard to create a very detailed image for this. You want to keep it simple. An abstract design would work really well, different kind of lines and shapes. In fact, that's I think what I'm going to do for this. Keeping in mind, again, the color wheel. If I am doing some blending, making sure that I'm using analogous color combinations, colors that share similarities because they blend nicely. So I am going to again use my colors that I have to create my kind of abstract, simple chalk drawing, and then I'm going to show you how to add the water to it to create this really cool painterly effect that I discovered. All right, so I'm going to speed up the video and I will see you in a bit. Alright friends, so if you like messy, this project, as I'm realizing, is definitely for you. Because I definitely washed my hands after I did this drawing, but I had a lot of fun doing it. Alright, so the next step is to get a cup of water and a paintbrush. And really, you still want to keep your colors separate. So I'm thinking I'm doing all my blues first and washing my brush frequently to see the blending effects. And you don't want to over blend. Some areas you might want to keep dry. It's kind of my fireworks starburst effect here. And my rainbow streaks. And what you can do is let it dry and then see if you want to add more blending with more water after you're done. I kind of like the watercolor effect. It's very light, but it's also very kind of bright and translucent, which is nice. Alright, so I am definitely going to let this dry, and then I'm going to show you what it looks like after it's all dry, because when it's wet right now you see all these spots kind of turn gray, and then when it dries you'll be able to see how it looks a little bit more. So don't panic when you add the water, because you really have to let your picture dry in order to see the results fully. Okay? While I'm waiting for my other picture to dry, I just realized you can do another chalk and water activity a little bit differently. So what you can do is take your chalk sticks and then dip them in your water and then color on your paper. So you just do a little dip. You don't want to over dip, but you see, wow, you can really blend colors very, very easily by doing it that way. So I'm just kind of dipping and experimenting. Again, keeping it pretty abstract, pretty simple. Little dips, because I see if you over dip, your chalk gets too wet, it'll get a little too crumbly. And I'm kind of using my finger here too. If it does get a little bit crumbly, you can use your finger to spread it around as well. So that's what I'm doing here. Well, here's a tip. As I noticed when I colored, you see what happened? I got a hole in my paper, which is fine. I'm gonna let that dry and I'll put a little piece of tape behind, but don't, suggestion, if it gets too wet, don't press too hard or your paper will rip. So keep it light. So that's another tip I'm giving you right now. Alright, now my chalk drawing number 1 is now dry. It definitely took a while to dry, but it once the spots went away, I think it looks awesome. And here's the thing too, I caused a little rip in it, but all you have to do if the paper gets too wet is I just did a little piece of tape from the back and it looks just fine. So this is the one where I used just dry chalk and then added water using a paintbrush to paint on top. Kind of like a watercolor effect. And this is the one where I actually took the sticks of chalk and dipped them in the water and colored. So maybe you want to try one, maybe you want to try both of these. Another thing you could do is these make great, amazing textured pattern paper. You could cut these up and make a collage or a card with them. Really, really nice effects. So again, I hope you enjoyed this indoor chalk art activity. Hope you have a good rest of the week and I will see you soon. Bye.